Should just be Dr. Strange. You can do it in midair.
And this is what we learned last week in a JITS. So we needed to have a library, which we all do. Then we needed to create a source physical file, which we all created. And that was called FA22, your initials and number 1. That was the name of your source physical file. Then after that, we started creating members. And then we saved those members. Then we compiled those members. And then we had an object. We didn't have a chance to add data to it. So in a nutshell, once you create your source physical file, you only need to do what? You only need to create it once, and you can add any number of members to it, as many as you like. And when you create a member, you use a utility called SEU. When you compile a member, you use a utility called PDM. And when you add data to it, you use a utility called DFU. Okay?
I'm muted, sorry.
Oh, we have Louis here. Louis Vesquiz. Welcome. Okay. So when we create a member, is member an object? Yes or no?
No.
No. Where does a member resides? Where do you put it?
Library?
No.
In the SE.
Source physical file.
Very good. See, that's the step number 2 here. Okay. So members stay in the source physical file. Source physical file is an object which resides in a library. Yes. Okay. Now, when you create a member, the member has a type, like what kind of member you're creating. And you will be creating in this course PF and LF. Those are the 2 kinds of members that you'll be creating. Okay. Now, when you create a member, PF or LF, the member, this is where you end up. This is the environment where you create the PF or LF, which is your SEU editor, right? And what you see right at the top, which I put in this red box, these are your columns. And everything needs to go in certain columns. So how do you make sure that things are going in respective columns? On each and every line, what do? What do you press?
Prompt.
It's
F4.
yeah.
F4, right? You press F4 and that brings the prompt. And then you fill in the blanks and things go in their respective place. Okay. Now, what kind of file member is this? Is this a physical file member? Is it a logical file member, or you don't know? Of course, you'll say, I don't know. But then I'll ask you why if you say don't know. Remember that.
Hasn't been defined yet?
You can't have a member that's undefined.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, there are too many things in life that fall under that word that you said in the end. So where will I look for to see what is the member type?
The left-hand corner.
Can you tell me something around that left-hand corner thingy that will make it a little bit easier for people to identify?
PF?
Where? Where should you look for the PF?
After the FMT.
Very good. Where do you see the 2 asterisks in the top left corner? If it's a physical file member, it'll say PF. If it's a logical file member, it'll say LF. Okay? So that's how you can tell that what is the member type. Okay, what is it that the first line that you see in the top right corner? What is that QGPL/QCLSR? What is that?
System library.
Okay, that's a library name. The first one is a library name slash. What's after the library name?
Oh.
Okay. Source physical file. Okay. So this is how. So this is how I will know when I ask you to turn in the screenshot of your assignment source code, I could look at the top right corner, and since each one of you has been assigned a different ID, I could really see that who did the work. See it probably, okay? That's the best way to see that the work is coming from you and it's your work. Okay, now, when you are inside, what is the first thing that you got to create? Your record format. Okay, record format is like the name of your record structure. The record format needs to have a name, and what else in the same line? Does anybody remembers from last week? Besides the name, what else do we want? On the same line where you have your record format. A letter R. Okay,
Type R, yep.
right? Now look over here. Can you see this image over here? On line 0002. Zero, yeah, 0002, this R next to CIFFILE. So this is the name of my record format. Record format do not have a length, do not have a data type. All the fields that you put in a record format, they define the size of the record format. But record format itself, you do not need to tell what is your size and what is your data type, because it doesn't have a data type. Its data type is structure. It's a structure. It's not a single value. Okay. Now, let me go back. So you need to then define fields after that. So these are the fields from line 3 all the way down to line 8. Don't forget about line 9. We have not talked about line 9. What is that? So forget about that. Okay. Forget about the right-hand side column. We have not talked about that either. So it's just an example to show you things that we have talked about. Okay. So when you are declaring a field will have a size if it's not fixed size, and will have a data type. What is A? What data type is A?
Character.
Character. What data type is P?
Packed decimal.
At decimal, yep.
Yep, exactly. Okay. What is the difference between the packed in the line of phone and packed in the line of order?
Order has 2 decimals.
Very good. So packed is packed, but whole number. You can have 10 digits, whole number, no decimal places. Order, on the other hand, has total 12 slots. Out of 12, 2 are decimal. Okay, so 10 whole number, decimal, and 2 numbers after the decimal. Okay, now field has a name and data type, and if required, a field size. Can you tell me one data type that doesn't need size?
Record.
Say it again?
I know record didn't need it.
No. I'm talking about field, not record.
Yeah.
Record is not a field, okay? Which data type for a field does not need size? Big, there are only 3 of them. Date, time, and timestamp.
Hmm.
They're fixed. Date is fixed. Time is fixed. Timestamp is fixed. Okay? So they do not need size. The rest of them, they do need size. Okay. Packed is an innovation from IBM where packed divides each byte into 2 half bytes. So it uses 1 half byte to store 1 digit, another half byte to store the other digit, and half byte is called a nibble. I know. So, any questions about this? Again, this is just a review. So this I'm asking if anybody has any questions about this. No, okay. So once you are done typing your source file, what key do you press to come out of there? Come out of here. How do you close this guy?
I think just F3.
F3?
Yep. Yep. F3.
Yeah.
It tells you in the bottom left corner, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. F3. F3 will give you another screen where it will ask you one question. Do you want to save the changes? What letter is already typed there? Do you want to save changes? Is the default yes or the default no?
Default's yes.
Default's yes. So all you got to do is hit enter and then you're out of it. Okay. Which utility do you go to compile?
PDM.
PDM. Okay. And how do you open that utility? What is the command to open the utility PDM?
strpdm.
strpdm. Cool. strpdm, strsecu, strdfu. All utilities are str. Okay. Now, when you are in PDM utility, then it's a list. Okay. You got to go to members, not libraries, not objects, but members. And then you use option 14 to compile a member. Okay. Now, when I hit 14 on a member, does it means it is compiled?
Not really. You have to check it to see if it's compiled.
Okay, cool. And what command do I have to type to check to see if it is compiled?
DSP MSG.
Very good. Okay. And how do I know that it did not compile successfully? What word do I look for?
Failed.
Is it error?
We'll
No.
say it is compiled normally.
Yes. So if it says it has abnormally, if it says abnormally, it means it did not compile successfully. If it says normally, that means it compiled successfully.
About that word.
Okay. So far, so good, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Any questions?
It was DSP MSG PDM.
No, just DSP MSG. That's about it. DSP MSG, display message. And you hit enter, and it shows you if the object went through or did not. Should we review a few concepts from chapters 5 and 6 now?
Sure, why not?
Why not, right? It's always a good idea to review things before we get started. It's just a good refresher. Okay. So what 2 utilities we learn about last week?
PDM.
and
SEU.
very good.
STRSU.
It's right in front of you, right? Everybody's checking the books. Come on.
Oh, man, I'm going through my notes and it's right there.
Okay. And PDM stands for Programming Development Manager. Okay. And what does SEU stands for?
Source entry utility.
Source entry utility. And you can find both of these things right on the very first page, page 165, which is the first page of chapter 5. Very first page under the overview. What is the newer approach to communicate, to storing data? We learned about it yesterday in IT and business class. For those of you who were there yesterday, mentally and physically.
Is it SQL?
It's SQL is a way to communicate with that thing. What is that thing that SQL communicates with?
DDS.
Yep, database. Okay, database is the newer approach. And the older approach is called what? The older approach.
Data descriptions.
The older approach is DDS.
There we go.
DDS is the older approach. DBMS, Database Management System, or RDBMS. But RDBMS itself is sort of kind of a little bit older now, because yesterday we were also talking about no SQL approach in IT and business, which stores structured and unstructured data, which is the way to go in big data. Anyway, so we have two different approaches, DDS and Database Management System. DDS is physical files, logical files, and DBMS is where the tables are, relational tables, and you use SQL to communicate with that. Is SQL a programming language? The answer is no. Okay, so what kind of language is SQL? What does SQL stands for? What's the full form?
Structured query language.
So what kind of language is this? It's a query language.
Very.
That's it. Okay, it's a query language. Have you heard of HTML before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
what does it stand for?
Those darn interwebs.
It stands for Hypertext Markup Language.
Yeah, I only knew what the H and T were.
Okay. So what kind of language is HTML? A markup language.
Yeah.
So it's not a programming language. Some people think that just because they're learning a language, they have become a programmer. So that's not the case. You probably might have heard of Python or JavaScript. Some of these are scripting languages. So there are a lot of different ways of looking at things. But anyway, so on page number 166, it talks about files. File is one of the many types of objects, not the only type of the object. Not all objects are file objects. So file is one of the types of objects which allow you to store data. Some of the files are listed on page 166, and they are physical files, logical files, display files, and printer files. Okay. These guys, physical files, logical files, what are they actually called from a program's perspective? What kind of files are they? Externally described. Externally described files. You can see that on page 167, right? That's a big title on page 167. Okay. Now let's look at figure 5.3. Figure 5.3, page 173. Which utility is this?
PDM.
PDM, okay. What are the three things that you can access right from here that you are familiar with?
Libraries, objects, members.
Very good, okay. Where are objects placed?
In libraries,
In a library, okay. What information about an object is maintained by the library in terms of its storage?
Is it name and type?
In terms of its storage? That's chapter 3, where we talked about the layered architecture, where we learned that operating system is unaware of the physical storage because we got a slick Timmy in between, right? TIMI and SLIC layers, and then we have hypervisor. So how does a library knows about the object location if it can't even see it?
It stores it in a permanent virtual address.
Yep, and that is a unique address that never ever gets repeated, even if the object gets deleted. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, so objects are inside a library, and members are inside a
Object.
object. Very good. Okay, now to help you understand this process, I think this would be a very good example to look at. Okay, now when we talk about Excel, what is a blank Excel document called?
Is it a spreadsheet?
No, it's not a spreadsheet. A blank Excel document is called
A workbook?
a workbook. Very good. Okay. Now this workbook comprises of what?
Rows and columns?
No, the workbook comprises of sheets. See, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, right? Each sheet comprises of rows and columns. So is sheet a file in Windows? No. So sheet is part of a workbook. That's exactly the relationship between a member and the source physical file. Source physical file is like an Excel workbook. And each member is like a sheet. And that sheet has a record structure where you can define the column headings. And then the rest of the rows is the data that it holds. But again, you know, when we talk about data, members don't hold data, but I'm just trying to help you understand the relationship between member and record structure and the source physical file. Just drawing an analogy over here for you to be able to understand why members are not objects. They're like sheets in a workbook. They're part of the source physical file. They can't exist on their own, yet they are individual entities with their own record format. Okay. Now, Okay. Page number 174, 175, which is figures 5.4, 5.5. What kind of screen is this?
The library list screen.
It's a list screen. Very good. Okay. And you can choose the options from the top next to the items. Both of these pictures are about work with libraries. That means somebody must have picked option number 1 in figure 5.3 to land here. Right? Okay. Okay, now let's look at page number 179, figure 5.9. What option from figure 5.3 should be clicked to get here?
Work with objects.
Work with objects, which is number 2. From figure 5.3, you push number 2 to work with objects. Okay, so once I am here, I can delete an object, display an object, rename an object, save an object, and so on and so forth. All I got to do is to go next to the object, push a number, and hit enter. Okay, now let's get to page number 182, figure 5.12. Figure 5.12, page 182. This is work with members. And you can see that we have members listed. In the third column, you can see the member type. And you will push an option 14 in the first column to compile a member. Okay. Now let's look at page number 183. Which utility is this?
Source entry.
Yeah.
SEU utility, right? Source entry utility. Cool. How do you get to the screen?
Type in SCR,
SCU.
And then what do you do after that?
F4.
Very good, F4, okay? Now, on this, in figure 5.13 or 5.13, page 183, on the very first line, it is asking for source file. What is that?
The physical file.
The source physical file, right? Okay, and on the second line is asking for your library. So all of you have a library, ITPA. And then the source member. What should I put under source member?
You don't have to put anything, don't you?
No,
And
you put the name of the member that you're creating.
Yeah.
For example, we created cars 2022. So you would put cars 2022 there. Okay. What do you put after that? What do you put next to source type?
That was the PF.
PF, because you need to tell what kind of member you're creating. Okay. So I want you to now look at page 185, figure 5.14. Page 185, figure 5.14. Do you see how the source member and source type are filled? Source member has a name and source type has a name, as a, the type. Make sense so far? Okay. Now, when we press enter on figure 5.14, we see figure 5.15. And can you see in the top left corner in figure 5.15 next to FMT, do you see PF? In figure 5.15, and that shows that this is a physical file. Now, this is one of the very important things to look for, because when you do not create the member with the correct type, what happens? When you press F4, the prompt shows up, but not with the correct formatting. Because when you skip the type, it defaults to a text file, and text files don't have record formats, don't have field names. I mean, like, it has none of that stuff. So all of a sudden you're like, oh, what did I do? So that's what you had to have done. You probably missed the PF part. Okay. Now let's go to page number 189. On page number 89, there is a shortcut. We didn't learn about it last week, but this is a good place to learn about it. Usually you type I1, and then when the new line shows up, you hit F4 for the prompt to show up, right? But instead of typing I1, look at figure 5.19 on page 189. What is typed in the columns?
IP.
So it's prompting.
IP. Yep. So what that means, insert a new line and open the prompt. It will do both things for you in one shot. So you would not have to first press I1, hit enter, and then hit F4. It will save you from one extra key press. Now let's turn to page number 190, figure 5.20. And that's what the prompt looks like at the bottom. That will show up for you to do your data entry. What will go on the first line, everybody?
Pipe.
Your record format, correct, okay? And you can see that on page 191, figure 5.21, that the record format goes in the first line. Everybody following with me? Okay. Okay. Page 192, as I told you also on the slide, very important page for you to know the data types. Okay. Okay, turn to page 199 and look at figure 5.24. Page 199, figure 5.24. Look at the prompt. What is different about entering numbers?
Remember, the length is supposed to be right justified. And, oh yeah, numbers are right justified.
Yep, that's it. The numbers have to be right justified. So under length and under the decimal position, do you see both numbers are right aligned or right justified, where the name is left justified? So always keep that in mind. I think last week, some of you had problems because of that. Okay, now let's turn to page 200, which is figure 5.25. And in figure 5.25, you will see that all the fields are listed with their respective data types, and birth date and hire date only have a data type, do not have a length, because they're fixed. And in the chat, I'm writing the format in which dates are entered in this operating system. They're not entered like you would enter in the US format. Does anybody know what that format is?
European, isn't it?
No, Europeans do date, month, year.
Oh, that's right. It sucks either way.
And it's, by the way, it's not just European. Our neighboring country also does it in North America.
Canada?
We did it.
Yeah.
Date, month and year. Yeah.
Yep. So Canadians also do it, the A people.
We'll let it slide since they're nice.
So this format is basically called an ISO format. And ISO stands for International Organization for Standardization. So since there were so many different formats to represent dates, they just standardized the format a little bit differently.
So basically the point of military time.
Oops.
Never mind.
Okay, cool. So ISO format or ISO format, International Organization for Standardization, that is the default for the IBM machine. So when we start working with dates, that is the format in which we will enter the dates. Now let's look at page number 201, figure 5.26. When do you see that screen?
When you exit,
Yep, when you press F3 on figure 5.25, you see figure 5.26. And as you can see, change or create member, by default, it says yes. You simply press enter, and then you are outside of this. Okay. Does anybody remembers the command to create the source physical file?
CRT SRCPF.
Yep. CRT SRCPF. Create
F4.
source physical file. Okay. Create source physical file. You type that command. And then what do you do after that? What key do you press?
F4.
Very good. Then you press F function key F4. What information does it looks for when you are creating your source physical file? It needs
Library location.
library and the source physical file name. Those are the two important sets of information that you have to provide. And then it creates that source physical file inside that library. Okay. Now, page number 216, figure 6.3. Page 216, figure 6.3. When do you see this screen?
After you work with members.
Very good. So which utility should you be in?
PDM.
Yeah.
Okay. So to compile a member, you first type strpdm, then you choose option 3. And then when you press option 3, then you need to provide what information? What is file? What is file?
The FA.
Exactly. So
22.
very good. Yep, your
Yep.
source physical file object, which for us is FA22 initials 1. And then you need to provide the library. And why does it needs to know the name of the source physical file?
So it knows what it's looking for.
Because that's where your member is placed. Okay, so it needs to go inside there. Okay. Now, if you look at the bottom of that screen, figure 6.3, under member name and member type, what does it says right now?
Oh,
All. That means I want to see all members, all types. If I want to see all members, but of physical file type, then next to type, instead of asterisk all, I will type PF. Then it will only show me the PF members. If I want to see a certain member, even I can type its name. So only show me that member if I type the name of the member in that box. Anyway, now let's look at page 217, figure 6.4. So the member that you want to compile, you go next to that member, and which option do you press?
14.
14, which is for compile, and it
Wow.
lists that right at the top. Okay. Now turn to page 221, figure 6.7. Page 221, figure 6.7. And this is how you type 14, and you press enter. As you can see in figure 6.7, page 221, that's how you will type 14 and hit enter. Okay. Now let's turn to page 222. When do you see that screen? Figure 6.8.
When you are creating a physical file.
Yep. When you're creating a physical file, would it be this guy, the source physical file, or no?
no.
No. Okay,
Just the
when we are
PF.
creating, exactly, because look at the command. The command is not CRT-SRCPF. The command is CRT-PF. So
Nope.
if you want to directly go and create a physical file member without having to go to str-su, press F4, and then type the member, if you don't want to go through the long process, this is a short command to take you to a screen where you can just create a physical file member.
Getting me in those quizzes. in fact.
Okay, what is a spooled file?
The output file.
The output file, okay? And spooled files are placed inside a
Output queue,
output queue. An output queue is placed inside a,
print writer.
no. Print writer can tap into the output queue to grab a spooled file and send it to the printer, but the output queue actually runs inside a,
Staging area.
okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. Okay. Are you ready for a hint? Yes? No?
Yes.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay, here's a hint.
Subsystem.
Cold cut combo.
Subsystem. Cool. Okay. Now let's look at page 229. We did not get to do that yet. We will work on it today. Which is the very last utility on slide number 1. It is called the DFU, the data file utility. The data file utility is the utility you go to enter data in a physical file object. It's not a member anymore. It has now become an object. So you can now put data in it. Okay, so let's go to page number 230, figure 6.15. So you type, okay, let me create a new slide for that. Okay, to enter data in a physical file object, you need to first type strdfu, and then you get to see the figure 6.15 from page 230, and then you choose option number 5, which is update data using temporary program. Once you choose option 5, you get to see figure 6.16 from page 231. Okay, now what do you think I should put under data file? Is this my source physical file that goes under data file? Under data file, you type the name of your physical file object that you just compiled the member and turn it into an object. That guy. So for example, if I want to put data in cars 2022, so I'll just put cars 2022 there. Whatever member turn into an object in which I want to enter data, I'll just put the name of that guy there. And now I do not need source physical file reference anymore. Why? Because it's an object and it is directly under a library. So all I need to do is provide the name of the library. That's about it. Okay. Provide the name of the object and provide the name of the library and hit enter. Then once you do that, for example, if you look at page number 233, figure 6.18, this is how a DFU environment looks like. So it just gives you a form to fill in the data. So you just fill in the data, and the length of each line automatically is only as long as the field size. So you don't even have to worry about, oh, will I enter more letters than the field can hold? You don't even have to worry about that. It automatically gives you only those many characters on a line that is a field size. Okay, and did you notice one more thing? How the dates are entered? Look at the second last and the third last line in figure 6.18, page 233.
Yep, ISO format.
Yeah, exactly. So you have year, -month, -date.
Would that screen be a prompt screen?
No, this is a DFU. It's a utility. Remember, the utilities are different than screens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, utilities are part of a software. So it's like a screen in a software. So it's not at operating system level. Operating system has 4 screen types. Okay. So now also notice the very last line, salary. That's a number. And look at how the numbers are entered, right aligned.
Right justified, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So if you enter numbers left justified, it will yell back at you for leaving the first digit blank because it's looking from the right-hand side.
Now, how come the home phone number and the zip code are left justified?
Because we declared them as characters.
Okay,
Okay, and see, you can, yeah, so that's why you could do that with them. Okay, so when you're done filling in all the fields, you press tab between each field, you go to the very last line and you hit enter, and then it automatically records the data. Okay, how do you exit from this? Figure
F3.
6.1 F3. Okay, when you hit F3, you will see figure 6.19 on page 235. Page 235, figure 6.19. See that, everybody?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the screen that'll show you, and it'll tell you you have added 1 record. If you delete any records, it'll also tell you you deleted X number of records. If you changed any of the existing records, it'll also tell you how many records you changed. Then you press enter about end data entry, you press enter, and then you're out of the utility.
So it's a confirmation screen.
Exactly. It's a confirmation screen. True. Okay. Next, I would like you to go to page 240, figure 6.21. Everybody see that? Okay.
Yep.
Just by looking at it, if somebody gives you that on a piece of paper or in an image form, can you understand all lines? Okay, just go through all the lines in the source code. Figure 6.21, page 240.
Yeah, I think I might.
Yep.
Right? It's pretty straightforward, right? You have a record format, and
Yep.
then you have a list of fields. Each field has a name and it has a data type. If you do not know what that letter means, which page in the book you will go and check?
192.
192. Okay. Now, if I would have shown this page to you 3 weeks ago, would it have made any sense to you?
It made me cry.
Not even close.
Exactly.
No.
That's what the whole reason I brought that example is to help you understand your learning. You know, we don't realize how much we learn every week unless somebody said, okay, did you know this 2 weeks ago? And I'm like, oh no, so that means I now can look at a code and I know what it is versus I have no clue. Okay. Now, likewise, if you look at page 242, figure 6.22, does that make sense to you as well?
It's the edit screen.
Yeah, it's similar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Now, I want you to go to page 247. And this is a little bit of a different exercise, okay? Page 247, there is no figure number. So this is the second last page in the chapter. It is in a bullet point 6.22 for Kindle. That's the only
Which
reference.
chapter?
This is chapter number 6 we are in. All the way towards the end of the chapter, it is under the exercises. It is the step 6.22.
Okay.
Got it? Okay, cool. So I want to do one activity over here, and I'll explain the activity to you in just a minute. Let me create the breakout rooms first. Okay. So what I will do is I will create some breakout rooms in which you will, in the groups of 3 people, you will decide if this is the data. Let's say if this is the data given to you, what will be the field names? Okay, you can do it in a Word document or some kind of a document. What will be the field names? What will be the data types and length? Everybody follow that?
Yep.
Okay, so given this data set, I want you to do reverse engineer from the data set to field names. And when you're picking the data types, use the page 192 data types, not the spelled out ones. And do not do it on green screen, just in a document. So your rooms are opened for 10 minutes now. That next week you will have your midterm, so that's why we won't be meeting in class.
I mean, we don't meet in class anyways. We meet on Zoom.
I mean, on Zoom class. So that's what I meant to say. So do not wait till the last minute, because then, you do not want to put yourself into this situation as running around trying to look for stuff. So utilize your time wisely. The midterm will become available to you on the 14th. However, it will remain available till 21st.
Is this the stuff we're gonna be doing with that, or are we gonna
Yeah.
be doing something totally different?
No, no,
Okay.
no, no. The hands-on piece will be very similar to I giving you specifications and you creating the source physical file, you creating the physical file member, you saving the physical file member, you compiling the physical file member, things of that nature.
Okay. Well, my member's made.
Good. So, I mean, that's why I wanted you to practice, and then we will do some more practice in the remaining half of the class as well. So you will get to see at least maybe 1 or 2 more examples. But that's the whole point, is I want to prepare you to, at least to some extent, where then you can utilize the resources that I'm providing you to then help you complete the midterm. So it's not like you cannot use any resource while you do the midterms. You can use all the resources.
Now, how do I compile?
So you guys need a little bit more time.
Yes,
Okay.
I demand my room back. It was nice in there. Air was perfect temperature.
So you guys want to go back for 10 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
I do. I totally lost all my
Oh,
data.
mine ended abnormally. That's not good.
That
Okay.
is not good.
So
Yeah.
I can basically now I would like you guys to share for those of you who are having any errors so that I can help you fix those.
Should I go
Well,
first?
Brian,
or-
you know what to do with yours, so.
Ethan,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Just
Go ahead
rewrite
first.
mine.
Yeah, maybe when
All right.
for those of you who are having some kind of an error, when you get to see others, okay, hit F3.
Alrighty.
Okay. Okay, now choose option 3. Okay, now hit enter. Now, everybody, the reason I ask him to come through this route, because if you have a member and you want to make changes to it, you can also come here at the same place where you came to compile, but you will choose now option number 2 as opposed to 14. So put 2 next to this and hit enter. That will take you right in the file. Okay. Your mistake is on line number 1. Can you click on line number 1 and hit F4?
Yeah.
Now go down where it says name. It is telling you by highlighting it in dark green that you forgot to give a name
Yeah.
to your record format.
That's what I was trying to mention before
Oh.
you left, was that I think you had to have a name on record. So I just did HW for homework, and I don't think I have any errors. I just can't get it to compile.
Okay, now let's do that. Give it some kind of a name and hit enter. Okay, now hit F3 and hit enter again. So it's saved now. Okay, now hit 14 next to this item and hit enter. Okay, now go down in the command prompt at the bottom and type display message. Enter.
Normally. Let's go.
That's
See,
it.
I don't get the menu where it says I don't get the menu to hit 14 in. That's my problem, Spin.
Okay, Jared. So if you can stop sharing, Ethan, I'll let Jared share his.
Sure. Pause share. Oh, stop. Alrighty.
All right. Hold on. I gotta re-enlarge it from that. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Share.
Okay.
So.
cool. Now type strpdm.
Yep, this is where I
Option
was.
3. Choose option 3. Enter. And, okay, no, okay, you went too quick. Hit
Sorry.
F12. Okay, choose option 3 again. Hit enter. Now, yeah, now get rid of that asterisk that you wrote before October.
No, I think I did that. I think that was accident when I was changing the name type.
Okay. Oh, again, you went too quick.
Sorry. I got this. It's okay.
Okay, now
right.
get rid of that October 072 to delete everything and instead type asterisk all. Enter. Okay.
Okay, here we
Now
go.
go down to that October and then option 14, hit enter. And now check your display message.
All right.
Okay, you're
Yep.
good.
All right, so we did figure it out, guys. We did it.
You did.
Okay, Brian, it's not your fault. You got screwed over by programming, okay? You got to rewrite
Yeah.
everything. It's bad
Mine
news
is
bears.
mine is nowhere near what you got. I lost all my data. I lost
Yeah,
it.
and you were almost with us, man. But like right at the very end, I was like, I know what you did wrong. Just go back into it. And then he went back into it, and all of the stuff had not saved. So he was back to square one.
Oh, so
Because
probably
I realized
And now-
when I exited and it said that there was an error, I was like, oh, I bet there has to be some name. Just can't do the full category. So I was trying to get Ethan and Brian to go back in to put something in the name field. And yeah, that was when the break room ended.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So Brian, so you have to start over again because yours is not saved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here I'm gonna share my screen. real
Sure,
quick.
go ahead.
So this is where I am at.
Okay, so basically this is where you press, actually the problem is when you
I think,
you forgot to put PF in the member type. Notice?
No,
Yeah, I was
it
just
pulled
gonna
it
say
pulled
that.
the
I
wrong
had
one.
that.
It had PF. He called we did because we were going back into it using STR SEU, and for some reason it called the one that he hadn't been the PF. He did do PF because we were all at the same page.
Okay, let's go to STRSU. Let's start the process again and then press F4. No, you have been pressing enter. That's the problem. You have to
Yeah.
F3 out of here and then type STRSU and press F4. Okay. In the source file, type your source file name, which is FA22, your initials 1. Tab. Your library would be asterisk current library. Okay. Hit tab, come up with a member name, any name that you have not yet used. Okay, now hit tab and then type PF. Okay, and delete the rest of the letters. And did you use that name before, OCT 072022?
I might have.
So why don't you add a little A in the end or B or something like that after 2, just to be different. Okay, hit enter now. Okay, see, now you see PF.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, so now I can start doing it.
Yeah, so now you can start with an F4. No, you can just start F4 on the first line. You can just do F4 directly.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, so now under the name type, you put R and you come up with some kind of a record name. No. This is the common problem people make right away. Your first field name is not the name of your record.
Ah.
Okay, so your record name has to be a name other than your field names. So just come up with some kind of a name that is not any of your field names.
Yeah, that's what I figured out right at the end there, Brian, was that we couldn't do it that way.
And then you
Right.
hit enter.
Oh, see,
Okay.
yeah, we had it up and we had a type and everything up there.
Right.
Okay.
And then go to that 0, the leftmost 0, and then type IP. Type
Oh.
IP,
IP.
enter. Oh, I think, it has the other numbers too. Get rid of all the numbers. It's better, delete everything on that line, all the zeros. Go back to the left, and then hit enter. Okay, here you go. So it has, the line needs to have nothing but IP in it. So now you start creating your field name. So now you go under name,
Mhm.
and that's where you put SSN, tab, and then you go to the rightmost, put 9. No, rightmost, yeah, 9, and then tab, A, enter. Okay,
Right.
now you go to the beginning of that line and maybe type I1 or whatever, I1, enter, then press F4, and then you put your second field, hit tab. Okay, put your second field, F
Okay.
name, I think you misspelled. And then tab, then go to, no, you cannot go rightmost because they're 2 digits. So go 1, 1 5,
Mhm.
type 1 5, and then tab A, enter. And then go to the beginning of line 0003 and then type I1, enter, F4. So you repeat that process, okay?
Right.
So I'll let you stop sharing and let you complete on your own the rest of the stuff. It's the same stuff that you got to follow all the way through, okay? Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Sure, Chris, go ahead.
I think I got what you explained to Brian, but I just want to show you what I'm.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
This is basically the time for you guys. Okay, now again, the problem is the same. First of all, you're missing a record format name.
Right.
Okay, and then the other problem is you made all your fields record formats.
Oh.
Okay, so only the record format will have the R, no other item will have an R. So first of all, you need to go to each one of the fields and get rid of the R. So go to that name type and delete. No, not there, in the prompt. Go to the prompt.
Right.
Go to the prompt, delete R.
Yeah.
No, I think you're using, what are you using, backspace or delete?
No, I'm just clicking on it and
and then what are you pressing after that, delete or backspace?
I hit backspace, but yeah, hit delete.
Go ahead, hit delete. And okay, go ahead. If you hit backspace, what does it do? It just locks it.
Oh, here we go. There we go.
Okay, now hit enter. Okay, cool. Now like that, first clear all these fields, and I'll tell you what to do next. Go ahead, go to each one of the line and repeat that process. And just hit enter. Yeah. So you have to constantly go click F4, click F4. So now click on the next, yeah. And these are all good oh, you forgot to hit enter, I think, or you did?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, okay. I think you made a mistake. Can you go back to line number 4, please?
Yeah.
And hit F4? Okay. Actually, go down to where it is 10. And I think you tried to edit on the line. That's why you have your spaces all messed up. So delete that 01 manually. And then go to the rightmost 2 digits, not all the way. Now, one more space to the left. Now type 10 and hit enter. Okay, cool. Now go to the ADDR1. Yeah, delete R. Hit enter. And like that, go to R, delete R, enter. And then delete R, enter. Okay, so these are all nice problems to have. The reason is if you do not make these mistakes, you don't learn. If you just keep following what I do, then yes, you are seeing a solution that works. But when you do it yourself, that's when you really get to learn. Now, what is the problem here, guys? Who can identify the problem again? I already
Doesn't have a type.
He does not have a record format.
Record format.
Record format. Okay. And where does the record format goes?
Line 1.
Okay. On the Word document, Chris, can you scroll up a little bit in the Word document that you have on the right-hand side opened?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you scroll up?
Yeah.
Okay. Stop. Stop. No, stop. Go down. Okay. Down. Stop here. Stop. Okay. Stop. Okay. Now, do you see on the very first line, it is record format, and the name of the record format is not the name of any of the fields. So SSN, FNAME, LNAME, phone, ADDR1, ADDR2, zip. None of those names will be used for record format. Okay, rule number 1, it has to be a name that is not a field name. Now, the second thing you have to keep in mind, it has to be on the first line. So if you now go to your line number 1, 0001, click there, go all the way to the leftmost 0 and type I1 and hit enter. Okay, notice that it doesn't allow you to create a new line before the first line. So what you got to do is press F4. Okay, and now go to the name. Go to the name. No, under the name, leftmost. Yeah, type SSN. Okay, then go to the length, type 9. Okay. The other thing you missed, Chris, and all of them is you never gave anybody any data type. So go to the data type and type A and hit enter. Okay, now go back to your first line. Okay, now in the name type, hit F4. Go ahead and hit F4. Okay, now go under name type and type R under name type. Under name type. You see something called name type to your left? Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Type R. Now give some kind of a name to your record format. Usually what I ask people to type REC, don't give names like me. Okay, that doesn't really make sense. I let Brian do it because he was already so behind, but don't do that. If you do something like that on the midterm, that's not professional. So you should use something like REC cust maybe, because you call yours customer. REC cust would be a good name for yours. And hit enter. Good. Now there's a problem. You cannot have a length in the record format. So I purposely let you leave that so that you can see an error. All of you, if you ever see an error on the line of the record format, please make sure that you have not given it a length. So go ahead and delete that 9 and hit enter. Oh, probably. Okay, go back and click on the first line again and hit F4. And then go, okay, cool. And now hit enter. Awesome. Now go back to line number 2 and hit F4 and put A under the data type. Enter. And repeat that process for each one of them. Just click under data type. It automatically goes down the list, and just do A, enter. And then put A under the data type, enter. And like that, repeat the process. Okay, now when you're done, hit F3 and enter. Okay, now type strpdm. Enter. Which option will you pick, Chris?
3.
3, very good. Put 3, enter. What is the name of the source? What is the name of your file? FA22. Remember, I will not be there for you for this step in the midterm. So make sure you write that thing down somewhere.
Got it.
Okay. And then hit enter. Okay, do you see customer?
Yeah.
Yeah, click to the left of the customer under OPT. Okay, now in your Word document, can you scroll down in your Word document? Scroll down, further down. Stop. You see how the 14 is written? Write 14 next to customer the same way in your document, in your green screen. and hit enter. Okay, now scroll down in the Word document. Further down. Further. Okay, what command I type? DSP-MSG. Type that command in your parameters. And hit enter. Awesome, you got it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So this would be one of the good ways, the way Chris is doing. Open the Word document when you're doing the midterm, follow the steps, or maybe you can watch the video or whatever works for you, or open the book and make sure that you're hitting all the points. You have all the resources and all the time to go and do it. Okay. Who want Brian, how are we doing?
Thank you.
I think I'm there. I'm displaying messages. I compiled member was submitted to batch. I'm displaying message right
Okay, let me know what you see.
now. Got it. Completed normally today.
Awesome. Okay, who would like to go next? Is anybody else having any problems?
I could use some help.
Sure, Jonah, go ahead.
So mine I accidentally exited out of, so I had to create a new one.
Okay. Okay, so you're starting fresh. Your previous one was lost as a member.
Yeah, my previous one was lost.
Did you check your members?
I did, it wasn't there.
Okay, now press F4. Okay. Okay, what will you do in the very first line, Jonah?
Will I put R here?
Uh-huh, very good. And come up with some kind of a name for your record format.
Would that be one?
No, this is another mistake people make. They give their record format the same name as their member, and that's an awful idea. Because later on, you're putting yourself for trouble. If you are writing any RPG program against this guy, the RPG program will go nuts and said, why do I have two things called the same thing? I can't read this file. So never,
Okay.
ever do that. So as I
think I did
told
that.
Chris, it will be a good idea to maybe call REC followed by cust, rec cust. Enter. That's it. The record format just need an R and a name. Now go to the leftmost 0 and type I1 and hit enter and hit F4. And now you start from the name. You do not put the name type anymore. That's only for the record format. So you put
Okay.
the first field name, which is SSN. No. Look at, do you have that sheet image? Yeah,
Where's that?
the image I shared in the chat. Did you download that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I have this.
Where is that? Oh, I can't see. If you have multiple screens, I can. Okay. Oh, there's nothing to show there.
It was popping up.
Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. So that is the guy that we need you to go SSN and then go back to the green screen and then go down to length 9. And then the data type is A, enter. And then go to the second line, I1, enter. And F4, yeah, the name is F name. And then tab, length is 15. Tab A, enter. Okay, I will let you complete the rest by following the same process. And let me see if anybody else needs help.
I don't need help, but I just kind of realized from what you said, because I forgot my other source code or my source file, I had to create a new one because I forgot it. So I did that, and I also did the mistake of naming it both the member and the thing in the same name. So I did identity. That's what I named it. But other
Okay.
than that, I did it all.
Okay, cool. Did our friend Desmond went somewhere?
Yeah, him and I think I don't know, the other group member of mine left. So I kind of was just stranded alone. Something happened. I think maybe their Wi-Fi died or something.
Oh, let me check my email. No, I have not heard anything.
Because
Marcella, yeah, she
Yeah.
was, she was getting dropped.
She was with me longer than Desmond was, but because Desmond dropped first, and then she dropped. So I
Wow.
kind of was just left alone.
Okay. So. Okay, I hope they're okay on doing the midterm, but you know, they have all these resources, you know, I've given you guys enough resources that you can fall back to, and also the classroom recordings, that if you follow them step by step, I mean, like, the likelihood of you making a mistake is minimized. I don't know, what do you guys say?
I'm feeling pretty confident right now at creating a member.
Okay, that's good, that's good. And again,
Feeling pretty good.
if you guys make a mistake, this is what I tell everybody to do. If you make a mistake and it's compiling abnormally, check your syntax. Line number 1, record format, name. That name should not, you know, I mean, like, it is not a good example, this one. They put the same name, but on the most part, you should make sure that they don't match. Second thing to keep in mind, that the record format should not have a field length and a data type. That's one thing. Second thing to check is that your field names that you have listed, they all should have a length and a type. If it's not fixed length.
Why does the last one have a K in front of it?
Oh, as I said, we didn't talk about that yet, so forget about that. I will not even going to be putting anything like that on the midterm. So this is
Okay.
just an example. There are a few other things that you can see, like unique or some of the other things that we will talk about after the midterm. So on the midterm, you will only be asked to go as far as creating a member with I will ask you to create a source physical file. So you will not be using the source physical file FA22 initials 1. So I want you to be able to create a source file too. So I will be asking you, if you can see this, I will be asking you to do step 2, step 3, step 4, and step 5. Okay. Not even step 6. Because we did not get a chance to go to step 6 yet. So I'll be skipping that. Initially, I was planning on doing that, but I think for now, I want you to be more familiar with steps 2 through 5.
So I have a question.
Yes, Jack, go ahead.
When you create the record, it says there's like a function like field. I don't know what to put in there.
Again, we didn't talk about that yet. So for now, you will leave it empty.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I was trying to compile it. And it was like,
Yeah.
no.
So for example, if you are, hold on a second. I'm just trying to get to the correct page in the book. Or maybe not. Or maybe, hold on a second. Okay, so this is the document, right? So in this document, when I'm creating my record format, I'm not putting anything in the functions for now. So we will talk about that. And you can see in the example that I shared with you in the PowerPoint, you can see that they did put something in the functions area. So when you put something in the functions area, it just shows in that column.
Okay.
Okay. So far, we are just doing something very similar to this text tutorial or the video tutorial that I have shared with you guys. What is that? In the unit 4. In the unit 4, whatever I shared with you, like here in the DDS YouTube video tutorials. So this pretty much shows you how you can do it, create a member and then compile a member. So it's pretty much will be revolving around that time. I mean, like that area. So again, going back to this PowerPoint. So what I will be asking you in the midterm is that you should be able to create a source physical file, a different one, and then create a member in that source physical file, and then save the member, compile the member to create an object, and then I will be asking you for some screenshots. Okay, similar to this kind of a screenshot. So when you give me a screenshot, for example, something like this, I could see your library / your source physical file, which will be according to the specifications I'll give you in the midterm. And then I'll be able to see your member name. I'll be able to see that you created a PF. And then I can see your record format, the field names, and so this one screenshot tells me so much about if you did it right or wrong. So again, what are the areas to look for? I will be looking for this area. I'll be looking for this area. I'll be looking for this, the fields, each field having a length and a type. If it's let's say if it is a numbered field and I've asked you to create a pact, and I've asked you to go 2 decimal places, then you'll have something like this going on there. Size, P, and precision or decimal place. So those are the pointers I'm looking for. So if you did all these things correctly, the likelihood of it not compiling is 0. Is everybody getting the point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the key pointers. So that's why I am keeping midterm simple. And I'm not adding too much to it. And I will not going to be giving you like something with loads of fields to work with. So that will be the whole point of not giving you so much for that reason.
We'll be making up our own.
No,
Or
I
else
will
they-
give you specifications. I will give
Oh,
you,
okay.
that what I want the field name to be called and the whole 9 yards about that. So I will give you the specifications. Okay, so I will tell you that I want you to, let's say, create a member called Pen. I'm just giving you an example, okay? So I'll give you the member name. I will even give you the record format name so that you don't even have to worry about that. And I will give you probably in a nice table-like format like this, okay? But I will not tell you to use A. I will probably give you something like this, that I want you to create something of numeric type. I'm just giving an example, guys, so don't, okay? And I want you to have a field size of 9,3. So what does 9,3 means? Total length 9, and I want 3 decimals. Okay, or I may tell you that this will be character size 15. So what does character translates to?
A.
A. Okay, what does numeric translates to? It's up to you. You want to use packed, you want to use zoned. It's your choice.
Okay.
It becomes a little open-ended. So let's say if I decide to use P, I know the 9 is the total size and 3 is the precision or the decimal places. So things of that nature, you know. So I will give you something more closer to the English, and you will translate it based on page 192. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think I got it now.
Okay.
I during the entirety of the breakout rooms, I was completely couldn't even figure out how to even create a physical file member until we actually started talking about it. So while you were going through and helping other people, I was just furiously typing.
Same thing with me. Same thing with me.
Okay. So, okay. So now do you feel a little bit more comfortable than you were probably a couple hours ago or an hour ago?
Yes.
I feel accomplished, but I was about to have a crisis.
I think we all were.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is so normal at this stage that I mean, like, when I purposely, you know, pretty much push you guys in the water, kind of a deal, because I wanted you to make loads of mistakes. I was expecting that. And that's why I wanted everybody who was stuck to share their screens, because the more problems you see, the more you learn. So we are thankful for Brian to make that mistake because we learn. We are thankful for Chris to making that mistake. We are thankful for anybody, Jared, Ethan, anybody who made a mistake, who shared their screen, because we learn new things, you know, somebody forgetting to do a record format. So now you all learn that if you forget the record format, you cannot insert a line above the first line. So you have to go to the first line, insert a line below, retype the first line's content on the second line, and then go back to the first line and do the record format. If somebody would not have made that mistake, then somebody on the midterm will be like, oh, do I have to create the whole thing again? Why is it not letting me insert a new line? And I get like probably 20 emails. This IBM iOS is not working. You know, that's exactly, some people, when they get frustrated, they start blaming the operating system.
To be fair, I mean, me, Brian, and Ethan, man, like right at the end, I feel like if we had had 5 more minutes, we would have had it just completely done because we were really close, and I had figured out what we did wrong just as the rooms ended, and I was like, "No, stop! 5 more minutes. We can do this. We'll be done."
We did have it. And then I remembered that, like you said like a few sessions ago, that if you go back, you lose all your data if you didn't save it or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. It's like,
Yeah, you hit.
just all just disappeared.
I saw you do it. You hit F3 instead of enter at the exit screen, and that's the
Yep.
screen to save.
Oh
No, Brian, no.
I knew I
We're
did
right
it too,
there.
and I'm like, wait a minute, I was supposed to save something there, and then I go back and it's gone. I'm like, oh,
wow.
So I have a quick question about midterms. So next week we won't have class, but the midterm will be open, right? So on Friday is when midterm is ready.
So this is what the deal is. Can you see? I mean, based on your expressions, I ended up changing that picture. Originally, I had a happy guy. I'm like, ah! It's just a humor. Don't take it personally, okay? Okay, so midterm. I have not made it available, but I just posted some basic information for you, okay? And let me add one more thing. Okay, just so that all the information is there. So midterm will be available to you this duration. We won't be meeting. See you on the 21st. The midterm itself is 400 points. It will open on October 14th, same place. You will see a couple more items showing up down below here. One will be the multiple choice part, which carries a lot more points than the hands-on part, which will be 125 points. This will be more or less around the quiz-like look and feel. Okay. And there'll be 25 questions, 10 points each question, but there are also 5 questions. So total 30 questions. There are 5 additional questions with 5 points each question. So total 30 questions like that. And then the hands-on piece will be the way I explained to you. They'll ask you to create a source physical file, create a member, inside a member, create a record format. And right after that, you list your fields. Each field will have a name, a type, length. You save it, you compile it, and you give me a screenshot of whatever I ask you to give me the screenshot for. Okay. I hope you guys are not nervous about it.
I don't know. After that war we just went through, man, I think I'm ready. I'm ready.
Awesome. Awesome. You know, I really, really feel bad about those who couldn't join us today and those who were dropped right in the middle. There were at least three people.
Yeah,
that were there in the
me and
beginning.
Ethan and ours, we almost like Ethan dropped out for like 5 minutes. I dropped out for like 1 minute, and we almost lost everyone too.
Yeah.
I don't
Wow.
know why.
I was talking and talking and talking. I'm like, why isn't anybody talking back to me right now? I'm very confused.
I had the same problem. I didn't even realize they were gone until it was like 5 minutes to closing the session.
Yeah, I could hear you, Brian, the whole time. I was talking. I'm like, bro, I'm here. I swear. And he just didn't hear me. I was like, I think my internet's dropping. So I tried to reset it quick. And then finally it came back.
Cool. So what's our game plan when we come back from the midterm? We are a little bit not in sync with the syllabus. So what we want to do is when we come back, we want to learn about the referenced physical files. We want to learn about the keyed files. Both of these topics we will look at after the midterm. And then there are small topics, not too detailed topics. The keyed files is basically the idea that you saw. Somebody asked me earlier, what's that K in the end, right? So that's a keyed file concept. As you saw that after I'll explain it to you for 5-10 minutes, all you do is just add that one line and your member is keyed. Okay, so it's not the detailed topic. Reference physical files probably is slightly more detailed than keyed. And in the keyed topic, we'll also talk about that unique keyword that you saw earlier. Here in this example, you saw the word unique and you saw the word key. So that's basically part of the same concept, keyed and unique. So that's one topic. The other topic is the referenced physical files, which we will talk about on the 21st. That referenced physical files are those physical files that have collection of fields, with each field having a name and a data type and a field length. But their whole purpose is to create a repository. Nobody stores data in them. Then you create other physical files that borrow the field descriptions from them. So nobody else writes the field description. So for example, if I need to create first name and last name for customers, students, faculty, staff, why should I have to write F name in 4 different members? I can create one member as a repository with all the common fields, save it as an object, and any member that need any of the common fields, just simply borrow from that one source. That way I will have the description of the things in one place, much more controlled. So how do you creating referenced members, like one member borrowing field description from another member? That's the topic. So we will be covering both of these topics on the 21st. Okay. Any other questions anybody has before we take off for tonight? Besides, I have given you one more practice to work on. What is that practice? Go to your units and go to unit number 5. In unit number 5, you will see that there is a homework assignment. This homework assignment will be a good practice for you before midterm. So notice I basically created this assignment on the same lines that I'll give you your midterm. So I'm asking you to create a source physical file, but I'm not giving you a name of it. I'll let you come up with your own name. So instead of fall 22 initials 1, you come up with the name of the source physical file. Then I am giving you the name of the member. I want you to create a member called titles of type PF. So don't forget to put PF in the member type. See, that's why it is very important to look for all these pointers. Okay, that's why I want you to look for all these pointers. Okay, then I'm not giving you the name of the record format. I want you to come up with your own name of record format. Then I'm giving you the names of the fields, their lengths, and see, I'm giving you English names. I'm not giving you the page 192 data types. And then I'm explaining it here as to what I want you. The total length will be 5 and 2 will be decimal digits. You come up with your data type, packed, zone, whatever you want to do. Okay. Now here are the notes. And I'm even telling you that through asterisk, what I want you to do there. Okay. After creating the file, don't forget to compile. Okay. I should rather reword it. I think, I think I was trying to go a little bit more Windows-like. After creating the member, don't forget to compile the member and check the error log and command log means using the display message command to make sure that there are no errors. Please take the screenshot of your physical file member in the screen, and then you can paste the screenshot in a Word document and upload the Word document or a PDF document.
Okay, just to make sure I'm clear. So the screen you want us to take a picture of is just everything that's written, all this, just that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is your physical, that's your member. So take the screenshot of your physical file member. So that's your source code. So let me add that piece. So take the screenshot of the
You don't want us to take a picture of the
source
display message
of
just in
the
case like it
physical
doesn't
file member
compile?
green screen. And screenshot of the display message.
Kind of did that already.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Any other question anybody has? Do you all know how to take a screenshot?
Yes.
Okay, now let me tell you one more thing. Did you guys see after you compile the member how you can go and look at the source code again?
DSP, MSG, MSG.
Okay, how about I stop sharing and one of you share your green screen with me?
I'll do it.
Sure. Okay, Jack. Hit F3, F3, F3. Go back to main menu. Okay, let's say you are here. Type strpdm. Hit enter. Now choose members, option 3. And then hit enter. Now you go to the member that you want to take the screenshot of after you're done compiling. You go next to that member and use option number 2 and hit enter. Okay, now you can take a screenshot of this and save the picture, upload the picture, or upload it in a Word document, upload it in the PDF, whatever, So that's how you can come back after you do your display message. Okay.
You want us to submit this one that we created in class or no?
No. I'm talking about the homework
Yeah,
assignment.
the homework assignment's a separate
Oh, okay.
separate member.
Yeah. Yes.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Why does it look different than mine? So I was in his group and he has the columns with all A's on the left
No,
hand
no,
side.
no, 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 no. That's Jack. Jack shared before I did.
Yeah. So
It's not
his
me, bro.
A's are because he probably might have used IP instead of I1.
Oh, okay. So I did use IP on the one and
Yeah,
then I used
exactly.
I1 on the rest.
I also used IP. What happens if you use IP instead of I1?
IP basically, first of all, asks you to delete all the digits on the line. And what IP does, it inserts a new line and automatically opens a prompt for you.
Okay, gotcha.
And when you
Does
do,
that have any like negative effects? Like,
no.
okay.
The other thing is, and also one more thing, I'm glad Jack made this error. Do you see this red XII in the corner, bottom left corner? That's because he might have done something that the keyboard control has been taken away from him. So if he pressed the control key on the keyboard, he gets the control back. And now he can use the function keys again, like F3 to come out of here. And then now that he did not make any changes, so he can press enter on no. Okay, and then when you take the screenshot of display message, because I'm asking for 2 screenshots, that's why I ask you to put both screenshots in a Word document and upload one document or PDF, whatever. Okay, you can stop sharing if you want. Thank you, though. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question anybody has about the assignment? Because if you can do the assignment, you can do the midterm. It's just exactly the same process. It's just a different member, different fields, but same process.
I guess the only thing is that if we submit it early, will you grade it early?
The midterm you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the assignment.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, my goal would be to grade your assignments if probably if not by I mean, like if not probably by before 7th, maybe around that weekend at the most.
Okay, because
Okay.
that way I can see if I did something wrong, I'll know what I did wrong.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm not promising, but I'll try to do it before Friday if it's submitted before Friday.
You can grade mine now if you want. Submitted it.
Okay. So, okay. Any other questions anybody has? So is everybody clear about the process?
Yes.
Okay. Feel a little bit
Yep.
better than you probably felt around 6 o'clock?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always super smart when you do it, when you that's obvious, but then when it's my turn, it's like, where's the J on my keyboard?
So again, keep that Word document handy. Even if you have to, keep it on one side. If you still get stuck, maybe watch a video, those short, that's why I broke them down into smaller videos so that you don't have to watch the entire lecture to get to that point. So, just utilize all the resources. That's all I can tell you. Okay. And none of this stuff is timed. So your questions or your 30 questions are not timed. You can probably do maybe 6 questions or 5 questions a day. Just make sure you don't hit submit.
You can save it and submit it later.
Yeah, you can save it. Just don't hit submit. Save it and click anywhere else on the Blackboard to come out of it. So for example, let me show you. For example, if I go into here and to, let's say, where was I? Units. And on the units, let me go back to, and I'm not giving you any quiz this week. I'm only giving you an assignment. Okay, so I gave you a quiz last week. So if I click on a quiz and I start begin, and let's say if I click on any of these questions and I can just hit save all answers. And after that, I can just click anywhere else. It will warn me. Are you sure you want to leave? I said, yeah, I want to leave. and you can come back to it. So if I go back to it, I go to units and I go back to unit 4. And I go back to my quiz. It will just simply give me, okay, do you want to continue? And then I hit continue and then I start. So that's another thing you can do. Okay,
I
guys?
want to redo on those first 2 quizzes.
Now you can't.
I
read-
agree.
You got me
That-
with them both
yeah, that-
times with them.
Agreed.
Man,
That CURLIBL is not being library list was cheating.
Yeah, CURR, really?
2 R's, you got me on that one too.
See, that was the whole point, to see how much attention you guys are paying.
It's late in the night. I don't even have my glasses.
Yeah, right? It's 10 at night. I was
think
falling
that
asleep when class
CURR
started
was a
today.
low blow. That was a low blow.
Yeah, how are
Kind
you
yeah,
gonna make a
kind of.
typo or something?
Okay, cool. And the funny thing is when students send me emails saying this command is right, I said, yeah, that's why it's a true false question, because the command is wrong. If it is wrong, you put false, and if it is right, you put true.
Laughing
anyway.
at our expense. I got
So
you.
do we get to redo the quizzes or what?
No redoing. Okay, guys.
So when are we redoing them?
Well, I mean, you can redo them, but you're not going to get graded for it.
Ah,
If I was farther in programming.
Anyway, all the best and have a good night, everybody. Let me stop the recording.